Hi everyone joining us. My name is Carrie Ebersol and I am the director of the 60 by 30 office for the state of Michigan in the Labor and Economic Opportunity Department. And we're just really excited that this is our initial kickoff, that we're kicking off here with you in the Traverse City neck of the woods and Northwest Michigan, and can't wait to talk more about the awesome opportunities around Futures for Frontliners, a program that was launched just under a month ago, offering an opportunity for essential workers to continue their path, their educational path, and path to higher demand jobs and higher wages and beyond. So with that, I want to talk a little bit about what I've noticed is when I say 60 by 30, folks always follow up with what is that and why? So the quick answer to that is we are looking to increase the educational attainment for working aged individuals in the state of Michigan to 60% by 2030. Why is that important? Just as I just mentioned a bit ago, we know educational attainment is connected to higher wages and also higher job security for these in-demand jobs that are often more protected from automation and beyond. So delivering this will help allow Michigan to have an incredibly competitive workforce, as well as mobilizing our businesses with the talent they need to be successful. So we're looking within this office of 60 by 30 to close the skills gap, increase opportunity, and make Michigan a more competitive state. So just real briefly, what is the Futures for Frontliners program? It's a state of Michigan scholarship focused for essential infrastructure workers without a high school diploma or post-secondary degree. It provides tuition-free access to Michigan's public community colleges to earn an associate degree or industry-recognized certificate. We always want to mention the two paths, okay, that the Futures for Frontliners program offers. One is for those frontliners who do have a high school diploma or equivalent. That is a path one. And then the path two is for frontliners who need to complete a high school diploma or equivalent. So this is, that second path is a coordination through the adult education provider. We estimate there's about 625,000 Michiganders that could qualify for this program. And just briefly, quickly, how do you apply for this? Well, there is a dedicated website for applicants that can apply at Michigan.gov/frontliners. So you will need access to the internet and an email address and a social security number to apply. We need everyone to apply that is interested in this program to apply by December 31st and must enroll in classes next year. And the reason for that is we actually have federal funding that we've purposed towards this end. So please, if you're interested and you were an essential worker that worked outside of the home for 11 of 13 weeks from April through June of this year, please check us out online and get that application filled. And here's a little regional specific data to take a look at. To date, we have over 66,000 folks that have applied to obtain the scholarship opportunity. Just to give you an idea, there is a bit of a gender gap here. About 70% of our applications are from women, with the remainder being men or folks that decline to select one of those options. Path one is 60% white, 25% Black, 5% Latinx, and 1% Asian. And then you'll see path 2 with some of the demographic breakdown. This map is reflected of all of northern lower Michigan. We think it's important and we want to let folks know that we are seeing a number of applications come in throughout the northern lower counties. And this gives a bit of perspective of the numbers that we are seeing. But with your help and hopefully some of the media coverage, and for folks that have joined us utilizing your networks to promote this opportunity, we're looking forward to seeing more applications come in over the coming weeks. So with that, that's just a brief overview because I want to get to the participants we have with us today, and then get into any Q&A that we can help with. So next up, I want to welcome Terry Vandercook, the Chief Program Officer with Networks Northwest. Terry, take it away.
Great. Thank you, Carrie. And I just want to say thank you for having Networks Northwest and Northwest Michigan Works join the conversation today. We are very excited to be able to be a partner in this program, both for Northwest Lower Michigan and the state as a whole. What I want to talk about briefly is some of the supports or the support functions that Northwest Michigan Works can provide to the participants of this program, to Futures for Frontliners, of course. We recognize that, in addition to obtaining the education or the credential, individuals are sometimes faced with some other barriers, some other reasons why it's either difficult or sometimes they may even view it as impossible to achieve their educational goals or their employment goals. And we at Michigan Works are really good at kind of filling that gap and overcoming those barriers. And how we do that is we provide some very specific support, either support items or whether it's moral support or career support. And some examples of those include we can often assist participants with transportation, and that would be transportation related to education or employment. We can assist with access to technology, whether that's hardware, software, or internet access. We can often supply related items such as books or lab equipment or things of that nature, as well as just providing ongoing career counseling throughout the process, right? So it's not just getting started, but it's being able to stay engaged and move through the process. And our career advisors are skilled at doing that. And then something I'll talk about a little bit later is we can also provide career pathway information. So we can show an individual where in a particular industry they could enter that industry based upon their current qualifications or what their future qualifications are going to be, and then what it would mean to advance through that career pathway and actually achieve their long-term goals. And then I will in a little bit here talk about some of those in-demand occupations in our region specifically. A big portion of this program for us at Michigan Works is employer engagement as well. So we feel it's important for our regional employers to understand the program, encourage participation with their current workforce, because it's an excellent opportunity for an employer to take incumbent workers, those working for them currently, and upskill them within the company and move them into better or larger opportunities. But as well, and our employers in this region does this very well, they do this very well, is their engagement in building a regional talent pipeline. So recognizing this program as an opportunity to look forward as well. And then lastly, as far as support programs, I'll spend just a couple minutes talking about the adult education piece, and of course that pathway in this program for those individuals that don't currently have a high school credential. We are the adult education provider for Northwest Lower Michigan, so those participants would end up coming to one of our adult education learning labs. They're located within our Michigan Works centers across the region. But it's important for them to know that when they meet with our educators, when they meet with our teachers, they will not only have access to, of course, finish their high school diploma or their equivalency, but they're also going to get that teacher's guidance in regards to career pathways, in regards to balancing that whole work life and education, the tricky balance that exists. And that educator can just really put them and help them stay on a steady path to finish their education and look brightly into the future. And of course, those participants would have the same support available to them as I mentioned earlier. And I will finish now today with that list of in-demand occupations. I've kind of got it broke down by industry. Some of the industries are recognized in this region. I'll go through this fairly quickly as it is. It could be fairly extensive. I will mention that this is certainly not the entire list. This is just kind of meant as a sample for the different industries. And at any given time, if somebody is interested in exploring any of these in more detail, by all means, our Michigan Works career advisors can talk about those details. But in manufacturing in this region, employers are looking for individuals with, either an associate's degree or some type of credential in machinist occupations and CNC operators and programmers. Welders are in demand, as well as design engineers and CAD draftspeople, industrial maintenance technicians. Agriculturally, in our region specifically, brewers and winemakers and distillers with some level of post-secondary education is very important. And within agriculture, supervisory positions, whether that's in production, food production, or food processing, construction and energy, HVAC technicians and plumbers, electricians, builders of all disciplines, electrical line workers, as well as auto and heavy truck mechanics and operators. Healthcare, we'd be looking at EMTs and paramedics, a wide variety of nursing occupations, pharmacy technicians, and then that whole career pathway of medical and dental technicians and assistants, whether it's in respiratory therapy or phlebotomy or physical therapy assistants, any of those that would fit that bill. Hospitality, another important industry for our region. So those positions in communications and marketing, certainly in culinary, and then the management opportunities that exist within that industry as well. From a business standpoint, bookkeepers and accountants, those industries or those occupations related to the insurance industry is important to our region. Office managers as well. And then lastly, in technology, software programmers, software engineers, drone pilots and operators. We're so fortunate to have a community college in our region that has one of the top-rated drone programs in the nation, and then computer systems and networking specialists as well. So again, I'll say that that's certainly not the end-all list. That's just kind of a sampling, but I think that'll give you a pretty good idea of those occupations that are in demand in the region that that will benefit from this program. And that's all I have for you today. I will say again, thank you very much for having us part of this conversation, and we look forward to a bright future with Futures for Frontliners.
Yeah. Thank you, Terry. And I just want to highlight a couple of things that those high demand jobs within the region, we want to tie the preparation, the educational attainment to gear that support for the jobs that are at the end of that certificate or degree. It's just so important that we look at this in a comprehensive way, which I'm thrilled about. And I think you also reference another piece that you all are just part of such important work, and that's the wraparound services that need to support folks these days in order to continue their path. So I just want to thank you, and I know we'll get to Q&A in a minute, but first we have another guest with us today, Todd Niebauer, Vice President for Student Services and Technologies at Northwestern Michigan College. Community colleges are the heart and blood so much of our communities around the state, but especially in this program. So Todd, take it away.
Great, thank you very much. I'm excited for the opportunity for the folks in our region that they can take advantage of the Frontliners program. Certainly NMC is here and waiting and ready to assist. If you listen to the long list of in-demand kind of occupations that Terry just shared, Northwestern Michigan College has a program to help prepare you for almost all of those, and it's a matter of first obviously is to get yourself apply for the Frontliners program, but then once you've done that, you can apply to NMC, get transcripts in from high school, and if you've gone to school someplace else, have those sent in as well, and make sure you fill out the FAFSA so that the financial aid portion of that to be eligible for is done. But once you get there, one of the things that we're going to want to talk to you about is what are you interested in? How can we help you make the right program decision for the career that you want to pursue? And we've got a couple of different pathways you can get into. We have associate's degrees that are occupational in nature that address a lot of those high demand jobs that Terry just mentioned, whether they be in culinary, the drone program, unmanned aerial systems, or any of the other ones, welding and such. We have programs that prepare you for that, and they have built into them the industry certifications that employers are looking for. That is part of the program, and how we measure your progress is making sure that you can achieve those. And we work closely with the manufacturers and other business owners in the region to make sure that those programs reflect the need for what they have, so that when you finish a program, we have a really good shot of getting you a job then on the other end of it. 'Cause that's really what we're looking for here, is make sure that we can help you prepare for what you want to do. Conversely, if you're looking at a 4-year degree, we can help with the first 2 years of that. You can transfer. The Frontliners program can help you in that respect as well. And if you pursue an occupational degree, that doesn't mean you can't transfer either. So there's all kinds of opportunities here. And as we talk to you about what program you'd like to pursue and what career you're trying to advance in, we have all kinds of supports that can help you get through the school part of it. Certainly, we're going to talk to you about that and give you some career counseling, but there's tutoring for academic supports, and we have success coaches that can help you with time management and study skills and other types of things to help balance, because most of us, when we go to school, are not just going to school. We have jobs that we're working with. We have families that we're trying to care for as well, and sometimes they can give you some strategies that are going to help you balance all those things, because that's not always easy. But that, and we have other programs to help you learn technology skills if you need to, and support you in all kinds of other ways while you're here. And we have a partnership with Michigan Works, which is part of the Networks Northwest, where we have a career advisor that is part of our team as well. They can help you with employment readiness skills, and they certainly can plug you into all the great career services and job placement services that Michigan Works has as well. So we're really trying to help you start from wherever you're at academically, get you in the right program, and support you as you want to come out the other end and looking for a job or to transfer, whichever that may be. But we're available to help you with that. You can get some specifics on the things you need to do after you're approved in the Frontliners program at nmc.edu/frontliners. That can walk you through that process, or you can email us at frontliners@nmc.edu.
Wonderful, Todd. Thank you. And I'm so glad that you mentioned the websites and where you can get more information on the Frontliners program. So if folks are at home and you want to take a look at that, please, Michigan.gov /Frontliners is where you can access the application to get the process started. But for today's discussion, we unfortunately had a last-minute cancellation on a local business to talk about some of the needs they are seeing. But I'm glad that Terry helped cover some of the specific areas that in your region that are of needs for the business community. So really, really important. Well, we want to take a moment to segue to questions. And as folks are thinking about perhaps some things they'd like some additional detail on, I would just the comments from Terry and Todd, again, it takes a village, right? It takes a village not only to make this program work, but to offer the supports to one another to continue on an educational path. So just want to really, really note this, that we're all in this together, and the impacts not only to, one person's pocketbook, because again, educational attainment equals higher wages. It also connects directly to our prosperity and our economic competitiveness as a state. So with that, I want to pause to see if we've had any questions come in that we could help cover at this point.
We do. And hello, everyone. My name is Erica. I'm going to be assisting with the questions. We have some that have come through already. And for those of you who are joining us and have a question to ask of any one of our presenters, please use the Q&A tab. It looks like a little chat icon in the Teams event here. Just click on that and submit your question, and we'll get to as many as we can today. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and read off the first question. What happens if I don't live in a community college's district?
Well, this goes back to It Takes a Village, but I also want to highlight Ava Atari, who's been leading the work on behalf of the state of Michigan for Futures for Frontliners. So it's a team sport. Ava, why don't you take that question?
Sure. Hi, everyone. Great to be here today. Thanks for listening in. So if you don't live in a district, so Futures for Frontliners, I'll say, will cover the in-district amount of the community college in which you attend. So if you apply to a community college that you're considered in district for, Futures for Frontliners will cover the rest of the tuition bill. If you choose to go to another community college that you're not in districted for, or if you have to go to a community college that you're considered out of district for, Futures for Frontliners will still cover the in-district tuition rate, but the difference between the in-district tuition rate and the out-of-district tuition rate will have to be paid with other funds. And so one thing that we've done is we've partnered with MCAN, the Michigan College Access Network. They're going to be assisting, they have a college advising hotline, and they're going to be assisting our accepted applicants with lots of things, childcare resources, how to fill out the FAFSA, if you have questions that can't be answered outside of just our program. And so that's a great question for them to find out what other scholarship opportunities there are for you, what other funding opportunities there are for you, but also to reach out to your community colleges because they may have answers for you there too.
Perfect. And what if I am not meeting satisfactory academic progress at my local community college? Can I still receive Futures for Frontliners funds?
I'll take that one too. Yeah, so if you're not able to maintain the satisfactory academic performance at your community college, the alternative option is that the community college can calculate the courses that you take as a Futures for Frontliners scholarship recipient to see if you meet a 2.0 grade point average in those courses. That's a backup option. And if you're not able to meet that, then you would lose the scholarship.
All right. And oh, sorry, Carrie, did you want to add?
I just wanted to say, Todd, I'm not sure if you want to talk a bit about I know you touched on this in your comments, some of the wraparound supports that you offer within the community college setting.
Sure. So, and we were talking there just briefly about satisfactory academic progress, and that is for the Frontliner program, as I understand, that is calculated different. So even if you had run into that problem with aid, you could start again as long as you maintained that 2.0 overall GPA. And so you can still apply, and we'll meet you there. But I think one of the things that we would want to do right away is, if you make sure that you understand all the different things that we can help you with, and we would want to get very early on, set up and make sure you're in the best position for success, that you've got support from the success coach, and if you need tutoring, to get that tutoring relationship set up. Those aren't extra services; they don't cost extra. That's just part of the work that we do at the college. And the other thing I would mention is that you should, especially if you're an out-of-district student, you could fill out the FAFSA will give you some additional help depending on your status there, but also fill out a scholarship application that, at any college that you would go to, fill out that scholarship application. We have scholarship dollars that are distributed to a great number of our percentage of our students in some shape or form. And so if you're out of district, that may also help with the cost.
Great. All right, our next question asks, do I need to apply for selective service to get these funds like I do if I want to receive federal grants?
I think the short answer on that is no, but Ava, do you want to take that?
I would have said the same thing, Carrie.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for answering that.
It's a team sport. All good. Okay.
All right. And is the Futures for Frontliners paying per contact hour or credit hour?
So Futures for Frontliners covers traditional tuition, mandatory fees, and contact hours.
All right. And can I apply if I'm already enrolled in a program?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, Carrie, did you want to answer that?
Yeah. As long as you have not obtained that certificate or degree, yes, you can enroll now.
All right, and our next question is touching on eligibility as well, asking, what do you mean by frontline worker?
Ava, why don't you give some examples from the governor's executive order?
Yeah, sure. So there were 2 executive orders issued during our state shutdown using federal guidance that the governor listed. There's about 13 or 14 of them. They're on our website, but I will say frontline workers are folks who worked in those essential industries who worked outside of the home at least some of that time, April 1st to June 30th. And so they're folks, maybe they staffed our grocery stores or restaurants. Maybe they delivered groceries. Maybe they delivered mail, provided critical police or fire services. These are just some of the examples of, folks who were required by their job to expose themselves outside of their home to COVID-19 and to keep our state running.
Thank you, Ava. And are there specific degree programs I need to enroll in order to receive this scholarship?
As long as they're Pell eligible programs, you can apply for them. So they're skills-based certificates or associate degree programs.
All right. And what if I don't receive federal aid after filling out FAFSA? Am I still eligible?
Great question. Yeah, I mean, I think it would depend on the situation, but you have to complete your FAFSA. So for instance, let's say you've earned too much money and so you won't get any federal aid. Futures for Frontliners will cover whatever the Pell Grant won't cover or whatever the federal aid won't cover.
All right, and so you don't need a high school diploma. What is the process for that?
I'm gonna kick it over to one of our other teammates who's doing an amazing job, Erica Luce.
Sure, good afternoon, everyone. Absolutely, if you do not have a high school diploma, you are welcome to apply and we encourage you to do so. As was mentioned earlier, if you go to the Frontliners website, you'll see there are 2 paths, the high school completion path or community college. So if you don't have a high school diploma, you'll select the high school completion pathway and you'll apply now. Once you're accepted to the program, the next step would be to enroll in a state-approved adult education near you, and we can help connect you with that program. I do want to point out for those on path 2 for high school completion, it does provide assistance to help you complete that high school diploma or equivalency as well as enroll and go on to a community college or job training program.
Thank you for that. And in addition to the scholarship, are there any additional support programs that are offered by the community college?
Todd.
Yeah, so I mentioned a couple already with the academic advising and career advising, but also the success coaches and tutors and an employability skills coach. But there's also the scholarships, which I mentioned. And as I said, we give a high a pretty high percentage of our students eligible for scholarship dollars, and that's not just it's not just all based on, oh, I was an A student in high school or whatever. There's all kinds of reasons that scholarship dollars are available, and we have some that we have discretion over to help folks with. But in addition to that, too, through our student life office, we often do emergency help for students on different things. We have counseling available. There's all kinds of other types of things that we try to work with every student, in their circumstances to see what we can do to help them be successful.
All right, thank you, Todd. And how about this one? If I move, can I transfer schools within Michigan?
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, Carrie.
No, it's all good. I was trying to have us say it at the same time.
But yes, you can transfer from one of the public community colleges within Michigan to another without losing the scholarship, as long as it's a Pell eligible program, associate degree, or skills-based certificate.
All right. And are there any assistance programs for me if I already have a degree?
Carrie, this is Stephanie. I can jump in here, and then this is Stephanie Beckhorn from Leo, and I'll ask my friend Terry to jump in too. We'll tag team this one, but certainly if you already have a degree, but you are potentially struggling with obtaining employment or retaining employment, there are multiple programs in your local community, many of which the Michigan Works agencies deliver directly there in your community. And so if it's barrier removal or additional training or certifications that may help you get obtain the employment and keep the employment, would certainly encourage you to reach out to Networks Northwest, which is your local Michigan Works agency. Terry, what else would you add to that?
Yeah, thank you, Stephanie. I would say that, in addition to, additional credentials or those supports necessary, I think it's important for everybody to realize that our agency has, direct connection to the employers throughout this region. So what we often will do is we'll work with the job seeker, much like we're talking about right now, and then we can actually advocate for that job seeker within the community to those specific employers that job seeker may be interested in. So basically what we're doing is we're facilitating, if you would, the potential for an interview, the potential for a review of a resume. So even beyond just preparing, if you would, the job seeker for the opportunity, we want to take it one step further and actually connect those job seekers to the employers.
Great. And since the Futures for Frontliners is a last dollar scholarship, does this mean the federal Pell Grant goes against the tuition first?
Correct.
And what if the community college in my area doesn't have a program that I want to go into, but another college does?
Again, this is where you are able to attend a community college that is not your local community college, but this scholarship would only cover at the same rate as a local community college. So you would need to make up the difference for an out-of-district community college.
All right. Well, Carrie, that was all the questions that we received. So if you want to go ahead and close us out, we'll wrap up for today.
Yes, I want to again thank everyone who spent some time with us to learn more about the Futures for Frontliners program. And I just want to stay on the theme that it takes a village. We have amazing partners around the state, and that is in part why we wanted to offer these roundtables. We'll be again touring these and having these virtual roundtable discussions. And we're just really excited and thrilled to be able to be a part of this program. And I just really want to also thank my teammates at the state of Michigan for making this all possible, both on the communications front here today, but our program leads that are really at the helm and working to get as many applicants in the door to these critical programs. Again, this is about the future of our state. So thank you all, and you take care, and we'll be talking soon.